we need to use service. First one, creating a service. How to create a component, sir? So far we already learned. What is the first one? Create a class and provide injectable decorator. Create a class and provide the uh, component. So in the service layer, what is the first step? Create a class and provide injectable decorator. Provide injectable decorator. Next step, register the class in the module. Register the class in the module providers section. Third one, use the service in the component. Where we are going to use this one, sir? In the component. So these are the steps. These are the steps. Now I am asking the question. Class A, the same question. Observe M1. How to call the M1 function, sir? How to call the M1 function? All of you are from the Java.NET related by using the object. By creating the object for what class, sir? A class. By creating the object for what class, sir? A class. Right now, in the same way, right now, service is also a class or not? Service is also a class. Now, I want to call the service class method. What I need to do, sir? What I need to do? I need to create the object for the object for what, sir? Service class. In Angular, we should not create the object for the service class. All the service class objects will be created by the Angular itself. In Angular, that is a bold statement. In Angular, we should not create service class objects. Angular, create and maintain them. Angular, create and maintain them. So very simple. So let us do the programming and let us understand from the scratch. Yeah, observe the first step, create the class, create the file. Observe what is the service file name I am taking? App, or you can also take what is the one, sir? User service.ts. User service.ts. What is the purpose of this service, sir? To provide the user related services. Very simple. How to generate this service, sir? A-service. A-service. Now this is what the first step. Now observe, I created the service and I provided the decorator. I provided the decorator. So this is the first step. This is the first step. Sir, I created the service and I provided the decorator. What is the next step, sir? Register the service class. Register the class in the module provider section. Go to the module. I don't have any provider section. Let me configure that providers. What is the service provider we are having, sir? User service. Now I register my service class in module provider section. Next one, use the service. Now observe, I am writing. Observe, I am writing M1 console. Instead of console, let us go with the alert. I am in the service. I am in the service M1 method. I am in the service M1 method. Now I am asking how to call the service method, sir? By creating the object for what? Service. But in Angular, there is a means in Angular service related classes, we cannot create object for that. So how to use this one? Very simple. Observe. Very simple. Button on click. Let me configure click equal to what is the method, sir? Call service. Right now I am creating a new method. Now let me write this one. Call service. Here service calling logic. Do you agree with this one? So now tell me, very simple. I registered everything. Now I am asking. I click the button. I want to execute what logic, sir? Service logic through component. Now here, what is the code I need to write? Usually, if you want to call any method, what is the one, sir? New. What is the one you are going to do? User service dot new user service dot m1. Do you agree with this? How to call the service? One, sir. Create the object for the service class and call the method. This is what normal programming in other programming languages or not? Whether it is a Java, whether it is a .NET or anywhere, what is a normal programming, sir? Create the object and call the method. But this one is not a right choice in the Angular. So we are going to use the server provided or our framework provided object constructor. Observe private variable name class name. Automatically Angular provide the object for us. So right now I am expecting what service, sir? User service. I'm expecting what service? User service. Very good, Pradhan. This is what dependency injection. User service dot m1. So this is the way. Now tell me, are you creating the object or you are using the object? Right now on the 15th line. Using. What you are doing, sir? Using. Now, who is creating the object? You are creating the object or framework is creating the object for us? Framework. Angular is creating the object for us. Who is maintaining this object? You are maintaining or Angular is maintaining? Angular is maintaining the object. Now, let me show you the code. Let me run the code and let us understand. CMD ng serve. Guys, this is very simple. Private variable and variable name, any variable name, but the service class, the service class definition, service class name. So automatically Angular create the object for this one and it will provide to us. See, sir, I'm able to call what is the one, sir? Service class method from template to the component, component to the service, component to the service. So very simple, sir. Now I will ask one simple question. Component need service. Component needs what, sir? Service. Now I am asking the question. Component object will be created first or service object will be created first? Don't write the answer right away. I will ask the question once again. Please think and tell me the answer. Right now, component required service. Component required service. In order to call this one, we need service. Now tell me which object will be created first. Component object or service object? Okay, I have mixed response. Let me further clarify this one. Alert, observe, component. Now I am asking the question. Let us talk with the programming. As Pradhan, I agree with you. That is the right answer. Now observe. First, it will try to create the object for what's a component. But in order to call the component constructor, you should our Angular framework should pass what object, sir? Service object. In order to call the component constructor, we need what object, sir? Service object. Now tell me this service object. First, it will create, then it will create what object, sir? Sir, component object. So now tell me dependency will be created first or dependent? Dependency will be created first or dependent will be created? Dependency or dependent? Very good, ready? Dependency or dependent? Dependency. Very good, sir. Right now, what is the dependency, sir? I depend upon what is a means component depend upon what is a class, sir? Service class. That is why it is what, sir? Dependency. Who is the dependent, sir? Component. Very good, sir. Now let us a step back and let us understand what we discussed so far. Now observe. What is the first step, sir? In order to communicate with the server program, we need to use a service. In order to communicate with the server program, we need to use a service. How to create a service, sir? Very simple. Create a class and provide at the rate injectable decorator. Sir, I provided everything. What is the next step, sir? Register the class in the module provided section. Okay, I registered that. Now you need to use the service in the component. Yes, I can use it. Now, how to use this one, sir? Very simple. In the component constructor, we are going to register like this. Now I will ask one logical question. One service can be used by only one component or as many components? One service can be used by only one components or many components by using this logic. Think and tell me the answer, sir. So let me show you that. Now observe. Insert component, update component, delete component, get component. Observe, all these are will do with the student table. All these are will do with the what table, sir? Student table. So what is the ideal practice in the real time is I'm going to create what is the one, sir? Student service. I'm going to create what is the one, sir? Student service. Now tell me in the student service, I will provide all the methods. I will provide all the methods. Now this student service will communicate with our other side, means the opposite server program. Server program communicate with what's our database. So this is the flow. Now tell me one component use what's our student service, and this one also student service. But observe, student service can be used by how many components are one component or many components. That is possible. And in the most of the time, in the real time, we are going to write or we are going to design the logic like this. That is what real times are, not like any other things. So right now, in each and every component, we are going to define what, sir? We are going to define what? Constructor. In the constructor, private variable name colon student service. Now I am asking the question, in this scenario, all the component related common logic where I am writing, sir? All the component common logic where I am writing service. Now I am asking the question, for a common logic, how many objects I need to maintain? One object or many, sir? For a common logic, one object is good or many objects are good? For common logic, sir, one. Very good, sir. Why? It is not specific. If it is a specific, we need a separate flow. But it is common. It is common at the time only one object is there. And what is the advantage of one object, sir? Memory, performance. Very good, Bharat. Very good, Bharat. That is a requirement. Performance. If the number of objects are less, automatically less memory and more performance. That is why Angular is not allowing you to create the object, and all these things will be created by whom, sir? Angular itself, and it is maintaining. And let me draw a simple diagram for this one. SS means student service. Observe, student insert component, student update component, and as well as student delete component, as well as student get component, a select component. Now observe, the same object will be used by all the participating services. Now I am asking, right now, how many times I am defining the logic? Right now, how many times I am defining the logic? Only one time, but it can be used by how many times I am defining the logic, sir? Only one time. Where's a service? But this logic can be used by only one component or all components of my application. Can be used by all components of my application. That is why in the programming, Angular programming, what is a very, very important one? Service is very, very important. So that is what the thing we need to know. Now let me write. Guys, please participate in the session. The next session is very, very important. Now this is your first example. If I stop here, observe May 30. This is the basic one. Let us expand this one. Let us expand this one. Advanced example. I want to create a workflow like this. Service object will be created first, then component. Yes, Basha, first service object will be created first, then component will be created. Now observe, I want to create a workflow like this. C1. I have a C1 component as well as C2 component. I have C2 component. C1 uses what's the service one. So let me draw this one in our UI. What is the one? C1. And observe C2. And C1 uses the S1. C1 uses the S1. S1 uses the S2. In Angular, you can inject one service to the another service also. So this is my final example. Observe one component, one service. Two components, same service. Two components means one component can use multiple services. One service can use another service. And one service can use multiple services also. So this is a advanced example. As a developer we need to learn, not like hello world program, sir. If you really want to learn hello world program, I am not the right candidate. If you want to learn a real world problem, a real world example with the basics as well as a real world example, and this, come to me. That is what you need to suggest to the other people, those who want to learn with the practical experience, not like hello world, see, I am doing this one and Angular is created by so and so person and so and so year, and who is the father of Angular, that kind of stuff. I am not the right candidate. I am the candidate to learn the beautiful things like this. Now let us see this example. Now observe, C1 uses what, sir? S1. And component 2 can also use what, sir? S1 also can uses what, sir? Another services also. And C2 uses what, sir? S3. And S3 also used by S4. And S3 also can use what, sir? S5. So let us see these scenarios in our today's class. Removing this. I'm removing this one also. It is a pure object pure technical class, sir, not like any other one. Component is ready. Let me remove everything. Let us start from the scratch. Okay, this is the one. Now observe, according to our diagram we need, what are the components, sir? C1 and C2. Let me do this one. C1 dot component dot ts. Observe, C1 dot component dot html. Everything is ready. Now observe, let me, in the same way, let me create another component, C2 dot component dot ts. And in the same way, C2 dot component dot html. Now let us go with the component a hyphen component. What is the tag name I am providing? C1. What is the template URL, sir? C1 dot component dot html. Observe, let me create a class name. What is the class name, sir? Component 1. That is fine. Now in the same way I want to write the C2 also. Observe, what is the tag name, sir? C2. What is the tag name? C2, and class name is C2. Everything is ready. Now here I am not writing anything fancy. H1 C1 component. And here, what is the one, sir? C2 component. Now we already know, sir, whenever you create a component, where you are going to register? Whenever you create a component, where you are going to register, sir? Use the shortcuts. Tell me in the shortcuts way. That's fine. In the module. In the module, what area? Of course, app module. In the module, what area, sir? Guys, components. Components provided, sir. Guys, components ఎక్కడ డిక్లేర్ చేస్తారు? Declarations. We need to declare, register in what, sir? Module. In what area? Declarations. తెలుగులో ఒక సామెత ఉందండి, చదవక ముందు కాకరకాయ అన్నారంట, చదివిన తర్వాత కేకరకాయ అన్నారంట. So when you don't learn, you did the good thing. After you are learning, everything is gone. Okay, fine. That's just jokes apart. So that guys, so that's why please do this one. Observe component one. I am registering component one as well as I am registering what sir component two. Now observe always your Angular display what's our app component. Always Angular display what component? App component. That is why write the tag names here. C1 as well as what's sir C2. Guys, I will provide you the YouTube related one. Why? Because it is needed. Yeah. So after completing the class, go through this one once again. Now I am asking the question in this component, in this one, app component is there, component one is there, component two is there. But framework by default it will display what component? App component. Now, sir, how to integrate other components with the view? How to integrate other components with the view? Very simple. What is the one we are going to write? The tag name C1. Now observe what is another tag name we are going to write? C2. Now I am asking the question. Now I am asking the question. Who is the parent component, sir? App. Who are the child components? C1 and C2. Very good. Very good, sir. Now I am asking. That's why your app component is called as bootstrap component or root component or main component or project level component. What are the child components, sir? Component one, component two, like this one. Some of you asked about this, sir. What is the use of this? What is the use of selector? This selector will be used in other, so that it all the that HTML will be displayed in that place, will be displayed in that place. Now I am asking, so we are able to integrate. Now I am asking, I am creating a new service. What is the one, sir? s1.service.ts. How to create a service, sir? You already know. What is the syntax? A-service. Now let me create the service. Now I am asking, I am creating the service one. Once I create the service, where I need to register the service? Where I need to register the service? In the module providers. In the module providers, service one. Okay, I register the service. I register the service. Now observe, I register the service, but according to the diagram, who uses this service, sir? Who uses service? C1 as well as C2. How to do this one, sir? How to do this one? Let me show you this. Constructor private S1 colon, what is the one, sir? Service one. So observe, I am not writing anything fancy here. Alert in C1. For I am writing simple alert statement because I am learning. So when you are learning, forget about your past experience, sir. S1. What is the one, sir? Service one. Now observe, I am in C2. Now go to here. Here I am going to say I am in S1. Let us run the program and let us understand one by one. Localhost colon 4200. See, sir. First, it will create object for what, sir? S1. The reason is very simple. The reason is very simple. Right now, first it will try to create object for C1, but C1 required what, sir? S1. So first it will create object for what, sir? S1. Then it will create the object for what, sir? C1. Now I am asking the question. Next it will try to create the object for C2. Now object will be created for S1 or it will reuse the object. C or R reuse. It will create the object or reuse the object, sir? Reuse the object. Why, sir? Because of performance improvements. Because of what, sir? Performance improvement. That is what Angular philosophy. Let me show you this. I am in S1, in C1, in C2. Now the UI will be displayed. Now I am asking the question, sir, why C1 is created first? Because C1 is declared first. Now you need to tell, I will simulate the one. Now tell me, what is the order, sir? What is the order? C2, C1. Tell me object or creation order. Type in the chart window. Object creation order in the chart window. Very good, Pradhan. Very good, Dilip. Very good, Laharika. Very good, Ravi. Very good, Arvind. Very good, Reddy. Doraya. Very good, Nagendra. Nagendra Babu M. I'm seeing very few. Means I'm not seeing all the names. There are good number of students are there, but I don't see all the people names here. Lakshman, I am not seeing. Suraj, very good. Satish, why S2, buddy? Why S2? I'm not. I didn't create S2 yet. I didn't create S2 yet. What is the answer? C1, S1, C and C2. Right now S1, C1, C2 or S1, C2, C1. So those are the scenarios. Now let us write another one. Let us implement the next level. What is the next level, sir? Okay, this dependency I completed. What is the next one, sir? I want to add another dependency. Let me write the code. Very simple. S2 dot service dot ts. Service to. Now let us register the class in our providers area. Service2. Now I register the class. Now let me use here. At the time, very simple. It is not a rocket science. Private S2 colon. What is the answer? Service2. Now tell me the creation order. Tell me the creation order. So let me show you the first. Let me show the app component. In the app component, C1 will be created and C2 will be created. Now tell me the creation order. Think and tell me this one, sir. Very good, Satish. Very good, Satish. object creation order. Now I am asking the question. Observe. C1 need what object? S1. C1 need object S1. Everyone agree with this. So first it will create object for what, sir? First it will create the object for what, sir? S1. Okay. Now observe, S1 is created. At the time, C1 need any other service, sir? No. At the time, directly it will create object for what, sir? C1. That is why, what is the one, sir? C1. Okay. Next step. Observe. Go to your app component. What is the object, sir? What is the component? C2. Now I am asking, C2 needed what are the services? Service 1 as well as what, sir? Service 2. Now I am asking the question, already service 1 object is available or not? Which object is not available, sir? Which object is not available? Service 2. That is why it will create object for what, sir? Service 2. Then it will create object for what, sir? Component 2. So order will be like this. Order will be like this. Now I am asking the question. I am just reversing the flow. Please participate in the session. I want what, sir? C2, C1. Now tell me the flow. Now tell me the flow. I will explain this once again. Some of you are saying S2, C2, C1, C2. How it, Satish, very good. What is the answer? S1, S2, C2, C1. That is the right order. Observe. Always go with the flow, sir. I will explain this process. Observe. First, I need what, sir? C2. Now let us go to the component. Component. What are the services are there? Service 1, service 2. Already there are no objects, sir. Already there are no objects. Now, first it will create what object, sir? First it will create what object? Service 1. That is why, what is the one, sir? That is why, what is the one? Service 1. Okay. Service 1 object is created. Then again, go to the component. Which object is needed? Service 2. See your diagram. S2. There is no, sir. Then it will create object for what, sir? Component 2. Okay. The first iteration is completed. Now this object is ready. This UI is ready. What about this UI, sir? C1. Okay, let us go to the component. Now component 1 needed what, sir? Service 1. Let us see your memory. Angular C is in its memory. C1, S1 is already there. That is why it will create object for what, sir? S1. Sorry, C1. So what is the creation order? S1, S2, C2, C1. This is the creation order. Now let us further complex this one by adding S3. By adding S3. So let me add this one. Yes, this is what real time, not like hello world program. In real time, we use at least three to four services for a component. 3 to 4 services for a component. So now observe here. Service 2 needed what, sir? Services 3. This is also possible. Go here, register the service class. Now I will go with the first flow. Now our area is what, sir? In our example, what are they? C1 is there, S1 is there, C2 is there, S2 is there, S3 is there. First I declared C1, then I declared C2. Now I am asking, what is the object creation order? What is the object creation order? Very good, Satish. Very good, Satish. Very good, Nagendra. No, Nagendra, you are wrong. Nagendra B. Very good, Doraya. Very good, Arvind. Anup, please correct your things. Very good, Laharika. Very good, Pradhan. Always go with the flow. Very good, Anup. Very good, Anup. So very simple, sir. Now observe, I want to display C1. What I need, sir? S1. So first object is created for what, sir? S1. Then it will create object for what, sir? C1. Now observe, for C2, what are the services are required? S1 as well as what, sir? S2. Now I am asking, in order to have C2, you need what, sir? S2. Okay, let me create S2, but S2 internally read what, sir? S3. That is why first it will create what, sir? S3, then S2, then C2. At the time, S1, C1, S3, S2, C2. This is the order. This is the order. Let us finally conclude our S4 and S5 also. So guys, again I am telling, it is not, I am not telling out of the blue. I am telling all these one I used in my projects. That is why it is common in the projects. Service 4, service 5, now S3 needed what, sir? Service 4 and service 5. S4 colon service 4 comma private S5 colon service 5. Now I am declaring the one like this. Let's go with the module and let us register the services. You can register whatever the order you need. So everything is needed, completed. Now tell me the flow. First, I want to show C1 and C2. This is the order. Tell me the complete flow, sir. S1 first. Very good, Pradhan. Very good, Nagendra. Very good, Suraj. Very good, Satish. Very good, Anup. Anup, correct that one. Based on the declaration order, Basha. First, I declared S4. That is why S4 is created first. Then S5. Very good, Reddy. Very good, Laharika. We need to reverse the one S4, S5, not S5, S4. Bharat, can you please correct once? Very good, Doraya. Very good, Neelima. Neelima, please correct once. Very good, Anup. Very good, Basha. So let me explain first. Very simple. First, it will go for what's it? S1. Why? Because C1 is required S1. First, it will create object for S1. Then C1 don't have any other dependencies. That is why C1 will be created. Then observe. Then C2. C2 needed what, sir? S2. C2 needed what, sir? S2. Now I am asking, S2 needed what, sir? S3. S3 needed what, sir? S4. S5. Now tell me, first it will create object for what? S5. Then it will create object for what, sir? S5, S4, S5, S3, S2, C2. This is the way it's going to be done. Now observe, I'm just reversing the flow. First, I want component 2, then I want component 1. Now tell me the order. Guys, this exercise is meant for the complete idea about object creation. Don't think otherwise why sir is modifying this one, because in the real time, if you do practice like this in the real time, it is very easy once you join in the job or once you are working on the project. Very good, Pradhan. Very good, Laharika. Very good, Reddy. And Suraj, why S5 first? Why Nilima S5 first? Now observe C2 according to the declaration order of the C2. According to the declaration order of the C2. Observe, we need what, sir? According to the declaration order of the C2, why we need what? Service 1 first. Ravi Kumar, please correct. According to the declaration order of the C2, why what required first? Service 1. Now I am asking, service 1 already exists? No, sir. That is why which one will be created first? Service 1. Then observe, I need what, sir? Service 2. Okay, it will go to the service 2. Service 2 needed what, sir? Services 3. Services 3 need what, sir? Service 4 as well as the service 5. So that's why first it will create what, sir? Service 4. Then it will create the service 5, service 3, service 2. Finally what, sir? C2. It will be like this: S4, S5, S3, S2, and finally what, sir? C2. Now observe, my C1 needed what, sir? S1. Already it is available. That is why it's going to be look like this. So this is what the flow. This is the example you need to practice, sir. This is the example you need to practice. This kind of advanced example you need to practice, not the hello world examples. This kind of things you never get it in the YouTube. I'm 100% sure about that. Usually we think I will learn from the YouTube. No, sir. You are wasting your time. You are wasting your time. You never get these kind of complex related things in the YouTube or anywhere in the internet. Only by attending these classes you can learn this kind of complexity and this kind of interaction and this kind of focus. Why it cannot start with S4? Very good question. That's what I am explained earlier. So let me explain once more once again. Observe component 2. What is the declaration order for the component 2, sir? Declaration order will be followed. What is the declaration order? Service 1. Now observe service 1, service 2. For service 1, no dependencies. That is why first it will create object for service 1. Then service 2. But actually, service 2 is not an individual service. It is depend upon other service. Service 2 is not an individual service. It is depend upon other service. What are the services, sir? S3. Okay. Service 3 is not an individual service, sir. It is depend upon other services. So the other services object, S4 object will be created first. Then it will create object for what, sir? S5. Then service 3. All the dependencies are satisfied. Then it will create the service 3, service 2, service C2 likewise. So guys, practice this example multiple times. Practice this example multiple times and draw the diagram. Means in your mind or on the paper first. Guys, remember, programming related problems need to solve on the paper first. Remember this point. Programming related problems need to solve on the paper first. In the real time, we never ever write the program directly, sir. What we are going to do? First, we are going to analyze the problem. First, we are going to analyze the problem on the paper. Once it will come to the practical solution, then only we will start the programming. In this way, right now, observe, once we understand this process, I'm going to write the code. We never write the code directly. Okay, so tomorrow we can meet at the same time, and the video is available in the YouTube. So listen the video multiple times and practice. Tomorrow we will have the class at the same time, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow we have the class at the same time, 8 o'clock. Okay, thank you guys. Once in a browser, so you can see this one, S1, S1, S4, S5, S3, S2, C2, C1. Okay, tomorrow we have the class again. I'm telling, don't forget, tomorrow is a Sunday, and don't spend your time much, sir. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Suraj. Thank you very much. Same to you.